I want to start by unveiling my executive, and the first appointment that I'm making today is the County Chief Executive Committee member for Trade, Industrialization and Tourism. I will be Honorable Savula. Savula is my current deputy and will also oversee the Departments of Trade, Industrialization and Tourism. Department of Social Services, Sports, Youth, Gender and Culture will be headed by Mophat Mandela. Department of Health Services will be headed by Dr. Bernard Wesonga. Department of Education, Science and Technology will be headed by Godfrey Owour. Department of Water, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change will be headed by Dr. Mariam B. BARASA. Last, the Departments of Roads, Energy and Public Works will be headed by Architect Patrick Wesonga Kundu. I've also made the following appointments in the office of the Governor. The County Secretary and Head of Public Service will be Dr. Boniface Okoth. Deputy County Secretary, who is the Chief Officer in the Office of the Governor, will be Joshua Auta Kuteha. Chief Officer for Risk Management and Service Delivery will be Dr. Vitalis Were Masahwe. Chief Officer for Technical Services Units will be Joseph Maloba. Chief Officer Financial Management will be Adan Ahmed Mohammed. The Chief of Staff is Isaac Omungo. Chief Officer, Trade, Enterprise Development, Weights and Measures is Shakir Dahan Adan. Chief Officer, Industrialization and Tourism is Saxon Kweyu Osore. Chief Officer, Public Service is Priska Otipa. Chief Officer, County Administration is Doreen Amwoga. Chief Officer, Finance is Dr. Jofita June Mwajuma. Chief Officer, Economic Planning and Investments, David Msafiri Kulova. Chief Officer, Budget and Ward Development Projects is Samson Otieno. Chief Officer, Information, Communication and Technology is Fanuel Isayankwa Musasia. Chief Officer, E-Government and Communication and ICT, of course, ICT I've already talked about. This is E-Government and Communication is Joseph Lutilo. Chief Officer, Agriculture is Bill Graham Otieno Silingi. Chief Officer, Livestock and Veterinary Services Dr. George Barak Otieno. Chief Officer, Fisheries Development, Mariam Nyongesa Were. Chief Officer, Cooperatives Development, Emmanuel Jenga Kariuki. Chief Officer, Land Administration, Survey and Housing, Stanley Maindi Andabwa. Chief Officer, Urban Areas and Physical Planning, Patrick Masaviro Butich. Chief Officer, Social Services, Children Services, Gender and Culture, Vivian Ayuma Ashiach. Chief Officer, Youth, Sports and Labor Services, Joseph Abucheri Ashindu. Chief Officer, Medical Services, Dr. David Anekea Alila. Chief Officer, Public Health, George Mukodo. Chief Officer, Education, Science and Technology, Leah Hassandi Shisia. Chief Officer, Water and Sanitation Services, Jessica Weku Wesonga. Chief Officer, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change, Justin Makari Mutobera. Chief Officer, Roads and Energy, Philip Otenyo Makonjo. Chief Officer, Public Works, Pascal Khisa Were. I've also done appointments of various advisors, and the political advisor will be Josephat Mwasame Katiti. Gender and Women Advisor will be Christine Oside Kimungui. Economic Affairs Advisor, Desterio Okumu. Advisor Strategy and Governance, Alfred Saidi Kasavuli. And lastly, Youth Advisor, Emmanuel Museve Makoha. This is now the team that have given an opportunity to serve the county, and I know we are going to now transmit these names, especially for the county executive committee members and the chief officer for vetting, so that we can embark on delivering our mandates as soon as practicable. I want to appreciate all of you, at least for creating time so that you can come and receive this information. I know you've been having a lot of anxiety, and I thought it's important at least to exercise my constitutional mandates in appointing the officers that will be the key players in delivering my mandate. I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate all the nominees that I've unveiled today. And after the vetting by the County Assembly, we are hoping that those officers will deliver on their mandates. Otherwise, I want to thank you very much, and I may want to invite a few questions. Asanteni sana.